time for the Sportskeeda Wrestling Awards. Vote alongside these legends who I think are ready to give us their picks.
All right, suckers, give me your pick for Sportskeeda's Wrestling Awards Male Wrestler of the Year. Vince Russo, you go first.
Male wrestler? Roman Reigns, bro. Acknowledge him, bro.
Bryan Danielson, baby. He had the best deal, no doubt.
Dude, it should be Kenny Omega. He's one of a kind, just like me.
Okay, guys, forget the men. The female wrestler of the year has got to be DMD. Dr. Britt Baker, come on.
Big Time Beck deserves it after her big time comeback.
Speaking of comebacks, Brock Lesnar is back on top.
CM Punk had the best comeback, no doubt. Bang!
Yes, but MJF has him on the ropes. You know it, and they know it too.
You know, MJF is so good, you can't turn the channel.
No moment last year was bigger than
Rob Van Dam entering the Hall of Fame.
You kidding me, right?
Oh, yeah.
Better
Come on, man.
He doesn't know when to have
Guys, you have to make up your mind quickly. We don't have much time.
Tell me he did not just say that.
Well, we have heard from the legends, and now it's time to hear from you. Go vote now. Sportskeeda.com/wrestling-awards and vote to win exciting prizes. AJ Styles is phenomenal, and he's staying in WWE, and he is getting paid. Big money AJ is maybe his new moniker in the future. We'll talk about that news. Plus, another name is returning to WWE, a beloved figure in a role you may not expect. Plus, we have more news in the world of wrestling to jump into on today's edition of Sportskeeda Wrestling. You share the link or you stink. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out! So much to get into. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. We got some Pat McAfee, Cody Rhodes news I didn't mention there in the opening that we're also going to touch on here. So much to get into. We have some Bray Wyatt news here. I'm sorry, my mic is getting all wonky here. Can you
Bray Wyatt's all elite. Just kidding.
No, he's not. No.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Oh, did we have enough of that last week? Things have somewhat just steady. Let's keep it steady. All right. That's all I can ask for. Our lives are based on Google alerts. That's what's going on here.
Oh, there is some breaking news.
Oh, come on. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, let's hold on. Let's hold on to the breaking news. Let's start off with our lead story, and then we'll get into some breaking news because we just can't handle all the breaking news at once. So let's jump into our lead story here because this is a big deal.
This is some good breaking news. Too.
All right. We'll get to it in a minute here. AJ Styles is sticking with WWE. His contract was reportedly up sometime later this year in the late summer, early fall. And obviously he's one of the biggest free agents that could hit the market. You have All Elite Wrestling is out there. They have the money. This is something they would clearly want to talk to, at least. I mean, it'd be crazy if they did want to talk to him. He did have a great run outside of Impact Wrestling where most people nationally in the United States got to become familiar with him, and then had a very strong run in New Japan Pro Wrestling before being courted by both WWE and Impact for potential return to the United States. Now, he made a big splash with the WWE about 5 years ago, debuting at the Royal Rumble. He's been involved in some huge angles. He's been a WWE champion. He was involved in what is likely going to be The Undertaker's final match. He's been a pivotal player, and many people now refer to him as a locker room leader in the WWE. Few guys get that treatment when they come from another territory with an established name. But AJ is the absolute exception to that. Smart move by WWE. We have more details on this, don't we, Jeremy?
Yeah, Fightful Select dropping the knowledge here this morning, confirming what Dave Meltzer had reported earlier in the month that AJ Styles has re-signed with the WWE, and Fightful Select has confirmed with numerous WWE sources this week as well. The length of time is not given, except there was a multi-year deal. His original contract was expected to expire in the spring or summer, where he would have been able to hit free agency for the first time since leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. Styles, of course, had plenty of suitors, and we're told that a lot of big names, this, as was the case with other big names in the company, they wanted to get the Styles deal done. before he could hit free agency, a la Kevin Owens, maybe Sami Zayn as well. Styles is said to be very happy in the company and has mentioned numerous times that he would like to work for WWE after his wrestling career. Those that Fightful has spoken to have said that Styles is going to be earning well over $3 million per year when it's all said and done. And everybody that talked, everybody that has confirmed that deal has told Fightful that he deserves every penny and will easily make that back for the company. Let's say also it's been told that he has travel accommodations paid for, so something kind of like similar to Randy Orton, who buses around the country as well in his own private bus there. Let's see here, and the last thing is that when Fightful asked how much time he's got left in wrestling, this is when they interviewed him, he said that if something went down that caused him to retire, he'd be very satisfied with what he has accomplished.
I mean, this guy's had a great career. The last 20 years, you want to talk about post-2000 wrestlers, he's on that list. You know, I mean, he's really, really on that list, and he's way up there. And also, I think he's gotten even better in WWE in a way that I don't think people want to acknowledge, and that he's become much more of a character. Way better promo. I think in WWE than we saw him do prior.
I think what helped him get on track early with Vince being a TNA guy was the fact that he was a mega merch seller from the get-go. And that told Vince that was enough to motivate Vince to get behind him, because you've seen so many TNA guys come and just completely nothing happens with them when they come over to WWE. And that was not the case for AJ Styles. It was really unique to see.
Yeah, and I also think that AJ is also an exception for what he did outside of TNA Impact.
Yeah.
You know, having his run and stint over there in New Japan, becoming IWGP Heavyweight Champion, getting that recognition and that true full Triple Crown Grand Slam status, where he's had a world champion in every single promotion that he's been. And in WWE, to re-sign him, it was almost like a no-brainer. So I'm just real happy that he's staying on with the company.
The 15th Grand Slam champion under the current format and 22nd guy overall to do it. That definitely screams Hall of Fame when it's all said and done, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely screams Hall of Fame. I mean, he is just a very, very special once-in-a-lifetime guy. And I do think it's important to note that he is the exception of that guy who made that jump. Like we talked about, like you mentioned him bringing in the merch, him doing different things. I think the timing of when he came into WWE at the height of wrestling outside of WWE starting to blow up and starting to influence what WWE does. That's why why WWE launched NXT, is because they saw there was this alternative that was truly fulfilling now. Things that Impact was trying to do, WWE was able to do with NXT. You know, like in terms of like have a brand that is separate from Raw. And you would think he would come in and be the top guy in that. He skipped that and became one of the top guys on SmackDown, one of the top guys on Raw. If his career was over tomorrow, he would be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like absolutely. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. And there's plenty of things there's plenty of matches he can still have in WWE right now. Plenty.
Absolutely.
One's going to happen at WrestleMania.
Well, absolutely. And the great thing about AJ can do anything. AJ can be a babyface. AJ can be a monster, nasty heel. AJ can do literally everything. And I think that's what makes him so versatile. Just like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're all these three guys. They're all versatile in what they can do on screen as well as in the ring. So I'm just excited for the phenomenal one to be signed back to WWE.
Yeah, in a time where a lot of people are sick of Shane McMahon, people kind of changed their tune when he had a feud with Shane McMahon as a heel. And that was a tremendous build. That was a tremendous story going into WrestleMania when those two feuded. It's been a while since he's been world champion. I would not be surprised if he is one sometime this year because of this new deal, multi-year deal. He's been a two-time WWE champion. Never held the Universal title yet, though.
Ricky's saying they need to treat him good again. Here's the thing. I think he's been treated fairly well in WWE.
I'll tell you what, an Edge WrestleMania match is going to be treating him pretty good, I would say.
Yeah, and I don't think everyone's, they made him put him in a tag team with Omos. They were champions. They were. It wasn't like he got put in another division and became the top guy in that division away.
It's what got him the Grand Slam.
Exactly.
I also think that, you can't be red hot every single part of the year, right? You got to have a little cool off period. This was his cool off period, and he was still at the top of his game in his cool off period, because that was a period clearly to kind of show Omos the ropes on a bigger stage. And I think it was successful. Let's see how the Omos situation pans out later. He hasn't been very heavily featured on TV.
No,
but AJ, he is phenomenal.
Yeah. It looks like we're going to get a match with him and Edge. So it looks like it's going in that direction, which I'm very excited about. I think that is a dream match that people wanted since Edge came back about 2 years ago now. And this isn't a match that was even possible when AJ joined the WWE. So if you are a fan of either, I want to know who you're excited to root for in that scenario. How can they build that storyline up? Let me know what you think in the comments below.
Of course, WWE, when Edge is making his speech last night for Raw, WWE social media used the phrase "smoke and mirrors" for Edge. It's like, come on, guys.
Come on, guys. Hey, it's smart, though. Why come on, guys? This is what fans are doing online anyway. They're doing the same thing. Come on, stir the pot.
Oh, well, we know it's not going to be Edge, though. That's the thing.
Well, when you got something in the pot and its name is Cody Rhodes, cook it up.
We know it's not going to be Edge, but yeah, it's going to be
someone dashing. Even the Miz saying that yesterday. Someone dashing.
But yeah, we all knew that Miz was not going to be teaming with Cody.
Speaking with AJ at the Royal Rumble press media junket back in January, I only had a few minutes with him, but I could tell from him talking to other media outlets in the room that there is this renewed sense of purpose. That we asked him the Edge question, and he was forthright in saying, absolutely, you're not the only one who wants that match. So this is a match he wants, a motivated performer at this stage, on this level. Hard to deny that passion. And when you have that, I think AJ is almost, the storyline is how good he is. His track record sells anything he does next. So I think that's going to be the compelling part of this match. And you're going to sell legacy versus legacy here with him and Edge. I'm on board with it.
It's going to be show stealer. We got breaking news. It's going to be good news for the other two guys in the room because they're going to be in Dallas. Just announced from GCW, For the Culture, Hit Row Records is reuniting and going to be appearing at GCW's Collective. B-Fab and Ashanti, the Adonis, and AJ Francis. No Swerve, but the other three members of Hit Row are going to be at For the Culture, which is going to be WrestleMania weekend, Friday, April.
For the Culture
in Dallas, Texas. So some good news to see 3/4 of Hit Row getting back together and going to happen during WrestleMania weekend.
Hey, man, that's great for them. I like that they're bouncing back. They're going to work the indies as a team. And this is an odd thing. We haven't been able to have people do that in a long time because independent wrestling itself was affected by all this stuff in the past few years.
Yeah, the fact that they're sticking together, right, after the release, that says a lot about their relationship personally with each other.
And if they could make a good mark in GCW, there's nothing that can't say that they can join Swerve in MLW or wherever Swerve ends up. I mean, he's been in MLW a little bit, but I mean, Swerve is a free agent, so he can and says he wants to do everything. So,
it's a great sign to WWE, even when they let you go, that you're going to hit the road and you're not, staying off your laurels here. Yeah. Someone who definitely stayed in the mix with WWE. Despite being released twice during the past 2 years of this pandemic, is Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick has been a beloved figure in televised wrestling for about the last 20 years. He's never been the top of the card, but he's always been a player in the mix, was a huge performer in various different roles for Impact Wrestling, TNA. Then joined WWE as kind of a non-wrestling role to run 205 Live, was a big part of NXT, then got on the main roster, then got cut as he just got announced for a cruiserweight tournament. And that real life release played into him winning his contract back despite not winning the tournament. It was one of the best things that happened on NXT on Wednesday nights. I absolutely loved it. It was one of my favorite storylines of 2020. Then he gets hired. Then he gets back to 2021, gets back to the main roster, wins the 24/7 championship. All right, you're near the bottom of the card, but you're a beloved character. You're a character that people care about. He gets cut. Sad. Sad again. So what do you do now? Well, he put out a statement on LinkedIn, on his professional LinkedIn profile, announcing that he has accepted a role as a writer and associate producer with WWE as part of their creative team. I think this is great. I think this is, I thought maybe at first he would be like an agent producer, which for people who don't know that is very different than a creative role. It's very, very, very different. So now this is a guy who's going to be a part of crafting storylines on week-to-week television for WWE performers. This is somebody who's going to be working on the vignettes, on all these different things that parlay into social media and then parlay into television. He's a very, very creative guy, and I don't think WWE has made a bad call pulling a former in-ring performer to do this as well.
No, and and a guy that he's worked with really closely for many years is also within the company, and he's probably learned a lot from Jeremy Borash, who's done a lot of great work in Impact and WWE with vignettes and such. So I'm sure Drake had learned quite a bit from his time working with him, and so I don't doubt that he'll be very good at that role.
I think this is going to be a really good thing for WWE as a whole and for the fans, because when you have seasoned veterans that know how to tell a story inside the ring and know the business, I think that translates a lot better in the behind the scenes when you are producing storylines and when you are producing matches. I think this is a really good move. And it's funny because, he had put out that his reaction video after his second release where he's looking in the mirror and he gets a call and he leaves. And we never really heard from him after that little vignette that he shot. And now he's back with the company. So good for him. I'm happy to see Drake Maverick being part of the creative team. It's cool.
Very cool. I wonder what insight he can bring in as a performer. I think that's important. And he's a guy who got things off the page. We hear that a lot with WWE people. How can you get something that's written for you off the page and make it work? And I think he's a guy who can do that. And now you have a guy writing that stuff too, or is going to be involved in how that idea is communicated to the performers. I think that's a great thing. It's a great thing here. So good news, some positive news for WWE. I think that's positive stuff here. We have some Bray Wyatt news here. What do we got here? This is interesting.
Yeah, man. So we have an update today about Bray Wyatt. Jason Baker, Bray Wyatt's very good friend, who also does a lot of the makeup and special effects in major movie sets and films. He also helped him out during all the vignettes during the Firefly Funhouse. Today, he opened up a little bit about what they're doing with their project. He spoke in an interview with Rock and Roll Beer Guy, and he said that they did some stuff back in November in Tennessee. They're all working on the project, and it's coming along great. Hopefully, people like it when it's all put together. They had such a blast working together. He commented a little bit about Bray Wyatt and being, coming from WWE. He still, to this point, has not elaborated on why Bray Wyatt left WWE or the reasoning. He still hasn't opened up about that. But they did wrap up, and they're still working on that movie project that they filmed back in November. So sometime later this year, we probably will see a movie featuring one Wyndham Rotunda, and I'm low-key kind of excited about it.
Yeah, it looks like actually they're not starting to film until November of this year, so it may be a little while before we see that movie. But
they did stuff in November. They did stuff this past November.
Yeah, and then he revealed that they are starting to film at the end of this November too in that interview. But yeah, so it may be a while before we see whatever they're working on here. But I don't know. I agree with you, Jose. I think that I wouldn't rule out WWE once things are once he does a few things.
And I think once he has a few movies out, right? Once he starts getting that recognition, they'll bring it back to plug the movie, because that's what WWE does, right? They'll bring back a big star or who's doing something big to plug in that movie, because guess what?
They'll take them promo bucks.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's worked with The Rock numerous times over the last 10 years. It's worked with other people. It worked with Johnny Knoxville and Jackass Forever. It's a huge platform to market your things. Bray Wyatt's not a dumb guy. I think he's not a dumb guy. If he wants to promote something again in the future, and it's just a few spot roles, maybe a match or two, I think WWE would be down for it. We don't know all of the details of Bray Wyatt's release. We won't know that for a long time. And that's up to Bray to talk about it. That isn't anyone else. I obviously it's something us as a news outlet we would want to know. What's the scoop? Give me the scoop, right? But we'll know in due time. And I think Bray Wyatt's a really, really talented guy. There's no way that guy isn't staying out of the show business world. No way.
Oh, no.
So we also have all of this. What is all this that people are talking about? We have all this chatter about the Sportskeeda Wrestling Awards.
Legitimate.
You want to talk legitimate? We got people tweeting about this. We got Cody Rhodes, the biggest free agent in professional wrestling, tweeting about the Sportskeeda Wrestling Awards.
I think we got a retweet from Kenny Omega as well.
Yes. All right. Over 30,000 votes are casted. This is no shot at other wrestling awards. This is legitimate.
This is powered by you guys.
We'll let Russo take those shots.
Yes, we'll let Russo get the heat. But no, this is over 30,000 votes casted. On top of that, 30,000 votes from fans all around the world. All right. We have a huge panel. Renee Paquette, Booker T, Rob Van Dam, Vince Russo, Diamond Dallas Page, Eric Bischoff. A who's who, okay? You hear the Academy Awards and you say, who's the Academy? Is it actors? Is it producers? It's all of them, but you don't see them actually cast their votes and who they vote for. We have all that right now, okay? All of that is up on our podcast feed. All of that is up on our video feed. You can win right now. You can win gaming consoles. You can win merchandise just by voting. Thank you also to our media partners at adfreeshows.com. And Vince Russo is the brand, and Lucha Libre online as well. Go vote now. Sportskeeda.com. Wrestling / awards. That's Sportskeeda.com / wrestling-awards. Go vote. Go vote. Have you voted
vote
yet?
For Pedro.
Vote for Pedro Morales. Let's vote for Pedro. Let's jump into our closing story here. SmackDown. Am I saying that correctly?
SmackDown.
I got my Pennsylvania accent in there. Pat McAfee on his big sports talk platform. He is also the color commentator for Friday Night SmackDown. It has been pumping up the rumor mill that he knows is running. He's a smart guy. And the rumor mill is that Cody Rhodes, defecting from All Elite Wrestling last week, is bound for WWE. And now Pat is just jumping into that hot brewing pool of rumors.
Yeah, man, it was awesome because earlier today during the Pat McAfee show, he said, quote, I guess Cody Rhodes is coming to WWE. I guess who cares? Him and his little friend started something. It was terrible. We actually went head to head with them on Wednesdays. We beat them a couple of different times. But who cares? The hell with Cody Rhodes, end quote. But then he clarified later on Twitter. He says he was just jokingly, and he's actually pumped that he is coming to WWE. And if he comes to SmackDown, he's really excited about it.
Pat knows how to make an angle right away, doesn't he?
Yeah, I thought we were going to start his first main roster feud here in wrestling.
What a weird feud that would be. It would be a very out there choice, wouldn't it? Be a very out there choice.
Who's the blonder of the blondes?
It worked. It worked for him and Adam Cole. That was a good feud there at NXT.
How many Cody Rhodes references did we get this week on Monday at Raw?
We had one from Miz. We had one on social media.
I think just those two. I didn't really hear anything else.
I thought there was one more. I can't remember what it was.
I was reading this morning. There was a couple, though. Just little tiny ones. I think Cody Rhodes coming into WWE now, just, within that 8-week time frame before WrestleMania, there's a lot of people competing for, real estate on television here on that roster and want spots on the WrestleMania card. We've talked about it, but I don't think it's a dead topic. It's still a very exciting one. He's the most talked about guy in wrestling right now, and he hasn't wrestled in nearly a month. Yeah. So what's going on here? What do you do with Cody on the road to WrestleMania?
Well, here's the thing. My number one top thing was Seth Rollins but now, remember back months ago when I predicted Seth and KO were going to be tagging at Mania. They may not have singles matches at Mania. They may win those titles and go all the way to Mania. It could be them and RK Bro very easily. If you book it right. Who knows? Or a multi-man match or something. But I almost think
you got people wrestling 2 nights in a row. You can do that. There's nothing stopping them.
But then you got Austin. You got that Austin rumor. So it's like maybe they lose in 2 weeks, turn on each other, something, and maybe that's when Austin comes out. I don't know, because there's still Steve Austin to figure in, and maybe that was smoke and mirrors. Maybe this in-ring return thing was just a bunch of BS. I don't know.
Austin versus Goldberg.
Yeah. Oh God. Shoot me. So
it's the match that everybody wanted in 1998.
I tell you what, if indeed KO and Rollins are going to be tethered together for WrestleMania, let's put we've already been sowing the seeds. let's, I think we're getting a multi-man United States title match. We've already got Balor in the picture. Let's throw Cody in that, make it a ladder match.
Hell yeah. And
it's funny how
make him the mystery man.
Been more, yeah.
Make him the mystery man. Have him debut at WrestleMania. I don't even think you need to have he be a great WrestleMania surprise too.
Yeah. Just like the Hardys in that ladder match when they debuted.
It's almost funny how the United States title has become a lot more prestigious than the Intercontinental title.
No. Just because it hadn't been
used.
It
is.
100%. More prestigious. Put that belt in a ladder match at WrestleMania with the surprise entrant.
The American Nightmare makes complete sense.
Yeah,
it's nothing. He has that Homelander jacket on from the boys. Yeah, so it'll be perfect.
Even though he denies that's what that is, but we all know better.
It's still fun though. It's still fun. It's okay.
Because you got Priest in there, you got Balor. I think you might get you could add another guy in there. It could make it a fatal 4-way. It doesn't have to be a ladder match. But yeah, I think if KO and Rollins are going to be tagging all the way to Mania, then that's probably the best spot to put Cody at this point.
Looking at some other things here as we wrap up, the tickets went on sale today. Not just, WrestleMania tickets are on sale. I know that people are talking about, they're doing 2-for-1 tickets, and why are they doing it? Because they got to sell 200,000 tickets in 2 days. That's why. But they also put on tickets on sale today for the SmackDown WWE Hall of Fame combo show. So this will be the SmackDown right before WrestleMania. Okay, so you get your go-home SmackDown. And then immediately following that will be the WWE Hall of Fame streaming on Peacock. So this is a unique combination, but obviously this is going to be one of the hottest non-WrestleMania tickets of the week in Dallas, as this is the induction of The Undertaker. I was fortunate enough to get one this morning. I can tell you the queue for it was pretty wild. I was talking to other people online. I talked to some people I know through Ticketmaster who said they were very, very happy with the traffic they got on this. The show, the last time I checked about an hour ago, is not sold out, but is very, very close. So I think Undertaker proves that he is a draw. I think Undertaker is the draw for this. And then it doesn't hurt that you get a SmackDown before WrestleMania. So this was a smart move by WWE. I know some people think it's an odd choice that you just don't let the Hall of Fame be its own thing. But you only have a few nights. You only have a few venues to work with. Milk it wherever you can. I do think NXT is going to get a little squeeze there. I wonder what position they're going to be in at the American Airlines Arena on Saturday afternoon when WrestleMania is that night, just a few hours later. So that'll be a tough position for them, but a good position for SmackDown. I think SmackDown should have a good position there as well, too.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think this is going to be a treat for the fans. And you're going, right, Kevin? You're going to that show?
Yes, I found out about a few hours ago, but I was talking to people today that I knew through Ticketmaster who said they were very, very happy with it, and they understood once the Undertaker announcement came out, and then it was a combo ticket with SmackDown, they knew it would move very, very well, and it would move in a different way than the WrestleMania tickets did. WrestleMania with that many people, the expectation is that show will sell very well the closer you get to it.
Just get a few questions here before we head out and close out the show. Victor Nash is asking, Jose, are you going to SmackDown in Miami March 4th? No, I won't be in Miami. I'm actually going to be over here in Orlando in my hometown because it's going to be AEW that weekend. So
it's just easier, right? You don't have to travel.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. So I'd much rather go right around the corner to the arena than to travel 4 hours down to Miami.
True. I get it. It's a lot of travel in 1 week, So I'm trying to figure out how to do Austin, few nights of comedy, and then go over to Dallas. So we'll figure it out, man. Yeah, people. Miguel Landa saying, "Kevin, take me with you." Well, my little brother would be really angry if I did that. Kevin, we went all the way to Texas. Sorry, Miguel's taking your ticket. So. If you want to pick us up after the show, that'd be great. Fun stuff ahead here. Jeremy, how you feeling here? How you feeling? What's going on? How you feeling? Fun show? What'd you think?
Hell yeah.
Dude. Hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. We are going to be busy here. Weeks of content coming up here.
Ciampa Ziggler tonight.
Busy season, guys. It's WrestleMania season. We're officially on that road.
Give me more NXT crossovers. I loved it. I thought Ciampa on Raw was really, really exciting, a fresh addition to the show. I liked him on color commentary the week before. I thought the tag match was cool. More of this. Everyone talks about the brand split means nothing. I'm fine. Put the NXT people on SmackDown Raw. Give them the rub.
And they're going to be doing more of those. They're planning on doing more crossovers down the line. So I think this formula works very well. Having the Raw and the NXT guys kind of crossover, I think that works well.
Definitely. Looking forward to it. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. No matter what you think of wrestling or how angry you are at Vince McMahon because he didn't do the fantasy booking that's in my brain on the TV that I watch, it's okay. Just calm down. Just relax. It's WrestleMania season. Just take a deep breath. All right. Tony Khan has a big announcement tomorrow. I know we're all nervous about it. All right. I didn't mean to spoil it, but I am all elite right now. And I'm goofing around. Thank you guys. Share the channel. Join us on our podcast. Go vote in the Sportskeeda Awards. Plug. Follow the boys on the Twitter machine. And remember, when watching wrestling, do the most important thing, which is what, guys?
You got to enjoy it. Enjoy wrestling.
Yeah.
Talk to them.
Let me talk to you.
Smack. Watch out.